Welcome to another video in which we are going to learn about style attributes in HTML. So guys, basically the HTML style attribute is used to add styles to an element such as color, background color or font, size and many more properties that we are going to check with the help of examples as well. Now guys, this is the format. We first of all have the less than symbol followed by the tag name that we have been using in the previous videos as well. Now guys, in this starting tag we have the space character and then we have the style attribute. So basically we need to provide the style attribute followed by the equal to symbol, and all the styling properties must be present in between the double quotes. So over here we have the double quotes, and within these double quotes we are having the key value pairs, that is property followed by colon and then value. And then if we have the multiple key value properties, those must be separated with the semicolon in between the double quotes over here. So guys, let us check this with the help of examples now. So first we are going to check the background color over here. So we are going to come to this VS Code and we simply have the HTML parent tag over here, and then we have the head tag as well, and inside the title tag we are going to change the title of the page, that is we are going to say styles in HTML. So guys, we have the title, that is styles in HTML, and then guys over here inside the body we will simply have the paragraph and we will say this paragraph has background color as red. So guys, we have the content as this paragraph has background color as red over here. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page on the browser. So as you can see, we have the title, that is styles in HTML, and the paragraph is being displayed as this paragraph has background color as red. Now guys, to make this paragraph have the background color as red, what we can do is we will be using the style attribute. So in the VS Code we will come over here, and as we have seen in the format, with the start tag we have the space character followed by the style attribute, and then we have the property value pairs over here. So basically inside this starting p tag we will have the space character and then we will say style attribute over here. As you can see, VS Code is suggesting us the style attribute. So we are going to select this, and then automatically we are getting this equal to symbol and the double quotes over here, since VS Code is helping us in order to complete this code. So basically we are going to use the background color property in this case, and then the value that we are going to use is after the colon we are going to have the value that is red over here. So guys, basically as you can see, this is the format. We have the style attribute followed by equal to symbol, and then in between the double quotes first of all we have the property and then followed by the colon and then the value, that is red color, and then automatically the semicolon is also placed. So if you have more properties to be applied, after the semicolon you can provide more properties. So over here this is the code that we have completed with the background color that is red for this paragraph. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page over here. So as you can see, the paragraph is having the background color as red, and since it is a block element, the entire width of the screen is being taken and the color red is being applied over here to the background. Now guys, let us check another property. We also have the color property over here, which will change the text color for the element to which we have applied this color property. So guys, let us have another paragraph in our source code. So we have the p tag over here, and then we say this paragraph has color as green. So guys, we are going to provide the text color as green over here. So what we have to do is, first of all, simply we will save this file now and try reloading this page. So as you can see, we have another paragraph over here. It says this paragraph has color as green. So we are going to change the text color now. So how do we do that? Simply we have to provide the style attribute to the starting tag of the paragraph. So we have the style attribute, and then we use the color property, and the value that we have to provide is green color. So over here we have provided the value as green. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again. So as you can see, the color is being displayed as green now for this particular paragraph, that this paragraph has color as green. Now guys, let us move to another property. We also have something called as font family, which means it is the font style. So basically the default font family for this particular paragraph that are being displayed is the Times New Roman, we will be applying some other font family to another paragraph over here. So let's say we have another paragraph with the P tag, and we will say this paragraph has different font family. So guys, we have another paragraph over here. This paragraph has different font family. When we save this file now and try reloading this page, it is having the same font style, that is the font family over here. So we are going to change the font family in this case. So again we have to come over here in the start tag, we will say style, and then we will say font family in this case. So as you can see, it specifies a prioritized list of font family names or generic family names. So we are going to select this. The default font family that we are using right now is the Times New Roman, but instead of this, let us say we want to provide something else. So let's say we want to provide this Arial font family. So we select this value, and then when we save this file now and try reloading this page once again, so as you can see, the font family for this particular paragraph has been updated now. So this is the way that you can update the font family of a paragraph or any other tag based on your requirements. Now guys, let us move to another property. We have something called as font size over here. So guys, by default, the font size that is being displayed on the web browsers is having the 100% as the value. So what we can do is we can come over here for the second paragraph, that is this paragraph has color as green. We are going to increase the font size. So simply we have to come over here, after the semicolon we provide the space character so that it is more readable. So simply we have to provide the font size property over here, and when we provide 100%, no change will be observed on the web browser. So when we save this file now and try reloading this page, as you can see, the font size is same as the previous one. That's because by default the font size is the 100%. Let's say we want to increase the font size by 50% and make it 150% over here. So when we do it as 150, the font size for this particular paragraph will be increased to some extent. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page. So as you can see, the font size for this particular paragraph has increased now. So guys, this is one of the ways in order to change the font size of a particular paragraph or any other HTML content. Guys, instead of using the percentage, we can use the pixels as well. Percentages are used when we want the web pages to be responsive, and on the mobile we want the size of the different elements of the web pages to adjust on their own. But when we use pixels over here, fixed pixels will be used. So basically when we provide 20 pixels in this case, so let's say we provide 20 px in this case, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page. So basically the font size will be fixed over here based on the resolution of the screen in this case. So guys, it depends on you which one you want to use, whether you want to use the percentage or the pixels. But basically for the best case scenario, if you want your web pages to be viewed properly on all the screen resolutions such as desktop or laptops or mobile devices as well, you should be using the percentages so that it is responsive in nature. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again. So basically this is the font size that is increased to some extent compared to the default font size over here. Let us move to another style property. So we also have something called as text align, which will help us in order to align the HTML element. So guys, what we will be doing is, let's say we want to display this third paragraph, that is this paragraph has different font family at the center of the browser. So what we can do is simply we have to come over here in the source code, and after this font family property we can simply provide the text align property. So we have text align property, and the value that we are going to use is center in this case. So when we use center, then this particular paragraph should be displayed at the center of the browser. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page. So as you can see, this paragraph has different font family is now being displayed at the center of the browser. So guys, this is the way that you can use the different properties and the values inside the style attributes for different HTML elements based on your requirements. Without the style properties, you will be able to write the simple content on your web pages, but with the style properties you will be able to provide certain styling and the formatting to those elements. So guys, comment in the comment section below if you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is quotation and citation elements in HTML. So stay tuned.